Nigerian youth, our focus number 1 is Inec, number 2 Inec, number 3 Inec. By the time you are done with Inec, you can talk about constitutional reform, judicial reform, law enforcement reform, but it must begin by sending people into power who have the competence and character to reform. It will begin by realizing the dilemma we are today. What the current administration is providing for Nigeria is the textbook definition of how not to govern a country. Nigeria almost exists so that other countries can learn how not to govern their countries. Wow. It is a criminality and corruption Armageddon. And if you do nothing by 2027, it will only get worse. But if our people go say that the way you see that, night cameraman will snap you. The truth of the matter is that Nigerians are in a hostage situation, and we have failed to realize. In fact, a lot of Nigerians are rather cooperating with the persons who took you hostage. That is the Stockholm syndrome. That is why today we can see the arrogance that is going on, and what we are observing is a dangerous state capture, where the National Assembly, who should be performing oversight, have literally become an APC town hall. It is an extension of the executive. The judiciary is gone. Now Nigerians must find the courage and the wisdom to, 1, be strategic, and 2, be firm.
What he said here is the truth. We need to focus on Inec. When you understand your problem, you understand how to solve it. The truth is that one of the major challenges we have in electing credible candidates in Nigeria is Inec. And he is correct that our focus should be on Inec. We focus on Inec. We should be strategic, and then we should also be firm. He's right. And that is one thing that I believe we will do come 2027. Some people are talking about electoral reforms, which is good. I don't have problem with electoral reforms. We should also pursue that. That is correct. That is good. However, personally, I look beyond electoral reforms, because reforms or no reforms, if they want to cheat, they will still cheat. I hope you know that there are some senators that are not supposed to be there, but they were still able to, maneuver and manipulate their way into the National Assembly. So, and we also know how they did in the presidential election. The way they conducted Ekiti and Osun and Anambra election wasn't the way they conducted the presidential election. And we trusted Inec so much because of Anambra, Osun and Ekiti elections. We thought they were going to do it that way. So you can imagine that even with the reforms that we had, they were still able to mess up. So the major thing for me, as much as I don't disagree with electoral reforms, we should pursue that, no problem about that. But personally, we should focus on ensuring ensuring electoral integrity on election day. That is what matters for me. That is what we have to look at, how to strategize to ensure that they do the right thing on that day, to ensure that we protect our vote, because that is where the issue is. So, and that is what I believe we should be strategizing on. That is what I believe we should be looking at. That is what I believe that we have to, as we focus on our neck, we have to look at how do we ensure that our votes are not stolen, that the correct results will be announced. These things are possible if we strategize. Like he rightfully said, we should be firm, and that is the truth. And let me also say, 2023, one of our major mistakes was trusting Inec so much. And I have looked around even developed countries. They don't just do elections and leave the electoral body like that. Taking the case of the last US election, it will shock you that the RNC, that is Donald Trump's party, they mentioned electoral integrity as part of their major strategy in that election. They said the first thing they would do, organize convention, rally people to come and vote, and then they say protect the ballot. Now, America is seen as the world #1 democracy, and a political party, a major political party in America, is listing protection of vote as part of their strategy. So if they are doing that, how much more we who are in a third world country, as they call us? So we need to rise up. We need to focus on Inec. We need to plan on how we should protect our vote. Honestly, Inec is our major problem. Inec is our major issue. So, and now that we have identified Inec as our major issue, our major challenge, our major headache, our major problem. So it's now for us to now focus most of our efforts on Inec. We don't have much problem mobilizing people. People will come, definitely will work on that seriously. But majorly, the issue we have to look at critically and with every effort is INEC ensuring that they don't steal our votes, ensuring that the votes are properly counted and announced, the correct results announced. My joy is that our leaders are already talking in that direction. I've listened to Dati Baba Ahmed and even Peter Obi himself, and they have been mentioning it, that 2027 they will correct their mistakes. And that gives me joy, and that shows that they understand the issues at stake. Please, if you're getting any value from this video, kindly subscribe to our channel, share this video, and like it. Thank you so much, and God bless you.